5 years ago, my life was a constant battle with menopause brain fog. I felt like I was losing my mental edge, struggling to find words, and fighting through a thick daily haze. But today, in my 58s, that battle is over. My mind is clearer and sharper than it was in my 30s. And that didn't happen because I found a magic pill. It happened because I stopped treating my brain like a problem to be solved and started treating it like a sanctuary to be maintained. I don't drink these herbs today to fix my brain fog. I use them as the guardians of my clarity. Today, I'm taking you inside my personal weekly planning routine. I'm sharing the 7 herbs and spices that have been my foundation for 5 years, and exactly how I organize them to keep my neural pathways flexible, engaged, and fog-free. Hi, I'm Demi, and welcome to Mind Over Age. If you're over 50 and looking for a realistic, science-backed way to reclaim your focus, you are in the right place. I've learned that the biggest enemy of a menopausal brain is overwhelm. If we try to do everything at once, we do nothing at all. That's why I don't drink 7 different teas every day. Instead, I use a simple rotation, a menu for the mind. I love the pen and paper feel of planning my week. It's actually a brain exercise in itself. By mapping out which herbs I use on which days, I remove the decision fatigue that often triggers fog in the first place. So let's look at my 7 weekly helpers, starting with the ones I use every single day. But before we dive in, a quick but important reminder. I'm simply sharing my personal routine and what works for my body. Please always check with your doctor before adding new herbs to your diet, especially if you take medication. The first part of my weekly plan is the foundation. These are the 2 spices I use daily, no matter what. Number 1, cinnamon. Cinnamon is my metabolic anchor. It helps balance those mid-morning energy crashes that can lead to mental sludge. I add a pinch of true Ceylon cinnamon to my morning tea or my breakfast. It's a warm signal to my brain that the day has begun with stability. Number 2, black pepper. My amplifier. I rarely use other herbs without a tiny twist of black pepper. Why? Because the piperine in pepper helps the brain and body absorb the nutrients from everything else much more effectively. I actually shared a deep dive video on how this one spice doubled my clarity. I'll leave that link in the description for you to explore later. Now, we move into the rotation, the herbs I alternate throughout my weekly plan to keep my brain engaged. Number 3, rosemary for remembrance. Rosemary is my wake-up call. It contains compounds that support the neurotransmitters responsible for memory and focus. I love the aroma as much as the taste. I'll use it in my cooking or as a morning infusion on days when I have a heavy mental workload ahead. Number 4, my hidden gem, Greek mountain tea or Sideritis. This is my proud little secret from back home in Greece. We've used Sideritis for generations, but modern science is finally catching up. Clinical studies now suggest that this rare herb can significantly support cognitive function and improve attention speed. When I drink a warm cup of mountain tea in the late morning, it feels like it's cleaning the edges of my thoughts. It is my most precious tool for long-term mental longevity, and it has a permanent place in my weekly schedule. Number 5 is Veronica. This is a gentle background helper for the nervous system. I include it in my plan on days when I feel a bit more tension than usual. It's a way of whispering to my brain, you are supported. You don't have to run on stress today. The final part of my weekly menu focuses on circulation and the evening reset. Number 6, Yarrow or Acacia. I use Yarrow to help keep everything flowing. When our circulation is supported, our brain gets the oxygen it needs to stay sharp. I include it in my rotation about twice a week when I feel a bit sluggish. And number 7, holy basil or Tulsi. This is my nervous system architect. Tulsi is an adaptogen, meaning it helps your body adapt to stress. For us women over 50, chronic stress is the number one enemy of clarity. Having a cup of Tulsi in the evening is my ritual of self-respect. It slows down the mental noise, so I can wake up with a clean slate the next morning. Now, how do I keep track of all this without it becoming a chore? I use the weekly layout in my Clarity Planner. Every Sunday evening, I spend 5 minutes doing my weekly planning. I don't leave it to chance. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I schedule my active herbs like Sideritis or Rosemary. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, I schedule my supportive herbs like Veronica or Yarrow. Sundays, I rest and stick to just my daily spices. Using pen and paper to map this out is a powerful act of mindfulness. It tells your brain exactly what to expect. When you don't have to think about what to do, your brain can use that energy for focus and creativity instead. If you are still in the stage where brain fog feels like an uninvited guest every day, remember, these herbs are the guardians of my clarity, but they weren't the only thing that got me here. True mastery comes from managing the internal, like this weekly plan, and the external. If you haven't yet cleared your home of the invisible stressors that trigger fog, that is your first step. I've put the exact map I used to create my sanctuary in my free guide, 8 objects in your home causing headaches and brain fog. And for those of you ready to start your own weekly planning ritual, you can find my planners in the link below. They are the daily companions that helped me reclaim my mind 5 years ago, and I would be honored if they helped you too. Thank you so much for spending this time in my calm corner today. Take gentle care of your beautiful brain. Go slow, cross the bridge, and I'll see you in the next video. Be kind to your mind, stay sharp, and have a wonderful day.